Welcome back, everybody, to my annual October ranking series. This year I'm counting down my 31 favorite horror movies from the 2010s. At number 11, we have a movie that has been pretty divisive amongst horror fans, but I don't care. I think this is a great movie. At number 11, we have Krampus.
Oh my God.
I love Krampus. I know not everyone loves this movie, but I don't care. I love this movie, and yeah, it's my favorite horror movie starring Toni Collette from the 2010s. That's right, it beat out Hereditary. Deal with it. I know. I will admit full-heartedly, Hereditary is a better movie than Krampus, but I don't care. I love Krampus. And you also have to understand where I'm coming from with this movie. I'm a guy who loves mythology, and I've said numerous times that there are creatures from mythology that I would love to see in horror movies. Now, Krampus is a mythical creature from European mythology, mostly Germanic, and he's like the anti-Santa Claus. That's the gist of it. And yeah, there have been a lot of Krampus movies out there, and this is the best one, but it's no contest. There's a lot of shitty Krampus movies out there. But I wouldn't mind getting more good Krampus movies out there. But anyway, I love the concept of Krampus, just this evil version of Santa Claus. This demonic version of Santa Claus. It's fun. I love the idea of Krampus. And as someone who loves mythology, I appreciate seeing this mythical creature in this very fun horror movie. Now, this is a horror comedy, but this is one of those horror comedies that leans a little more towards the horror. Yeah, it's comedic and it has its funny moments, but horror is kind of the point of it, and there's a lot of good creepy moments throughout this movie. Now, Krampus is a character that you don't really see until the end of the movie. You get to little glimpses of him, but he doesn't really come into play until the third act. But it still works because you feel his presence throughout the movie. So even though you don't see Krampus too much, you feel Krampus's presence as the movie goes on. This is one of my favorite Christmas horror movies. This is a movie that walks that fine line with unlikable characters, and the movie does an interesting take with these unlikable characters. You have these two families coming together for Christmas. One family doesn't really get along with the other side of the family. Our main character is Max, who loves Christmas. One thing leads to another, and he turns his back on Christmas, resulting in this curse coming down on his family, which results in Krampus coming in. You have Santa Claus, who brings people's presents, and Krampus punishes by taking people away to his sick underworld or something along those lines. So you have Max and his family, and then you have his cousins coming in, his uncle, his aunt. There's this great aunt Dougherty, who's a bitch, and his aunt Linda, and his two cousins. And they do have that element of unlikable characters. So at first you're I'll be honest, the way Christmas dinner is going on and the way these people are acting, I would have thrown them out of my house. Not joking. I would not tolerate this kind of behavior. But anyway, the movie does something very interesting, where as the movie goes along, it redeems all these unlikable characters.
Yeah, Dorothy? Finish it.
With pleasure.
And so you grow to like these people that you didn't like at first, which I think it's a very hard thing to do. It's very hard to have unlikable characters, but then make you understand those characters, and then makes you actually like them. So all the characters have their own redeeming qualities, getting to the point where it's okay, I don't want to see anything happen to these people. At first you want to. You're I hate these people, I can't wait for them to die. But then as the movie goes on, like I said, they redeem themselves in a way. You know how you have those family members that you don't see eye to eye with, until you're in a situation where shit goes down and you really need to depend on each other, and they all step through for each other and come together, and there's, like I said, there's an understanding between each other. which is a very interesting way to go. I like the arc of all the characters in this movie. You know, you have those characters that when you first meet them, they come across as unlikable and you're not happy with them. But then as things start to go wrong, they start changing and they start having this arc and redeeming themselves in a way, and then you grow to like them, which I just love that angle of it. And this could have easily gone wrong, but this movie manages to pull it off, in my opinion at least. But it's a Christmas movie that embraces the fact that it's a Christmas movie, because Krampus is going after this family with Christmas-based minions. You have evil gingerbread men, you have an evil teddy bear, there's this terrifying Jack-in-the-Box, which is one of the scenes that most people remember in this movie.
Oh, come on.
It has this cold, wintry atmosphere. It's a great atmosphere throughout this movie. And I love how it takes advantage of the snowy atmosphere. You know, it's like, throughout the film you see these snowmen appear in the family's yard, and as things go on you see more snowmen appear in the yard, and the snowmen get closer and closer, making things seem very menacing. I think Toni Collette is great in this movie. I will admit, yes, she's a lot better in Hereditary, but I do enjoy her character in this movie. You have Adam Scott as the husband, Tom. He's really funny in this movie with this kind of deadpan sort of humor, but he comes through with it as well. They do a good job at mixing the comedy with the horror, but I do appreciate how it leans a little more towards the horror side of things. This is a PG-13 horror movie, and this is an example of how you can make a good PG-13 horror movie. And then when we finally do see Krampus, he has a great design. A lot of people, you know, like when we first watch it, you see that you know, still face with that constantly open jaw. And when you first saw that, you're like, oh, that's kind of cheap. But then you realize, oh, it's a mask. It's a mask that Krampus puts over his face. So while we have a general idea of what Krampus looks like, we don't really know what he looks like. We have that freaky, deformed Santa Claus mask, and there's something underneath that, and I love that. There's still mystery with the character. But Krampus does have a great design. It does take full advantage of the fact that it's a Christmas horror movie. This is, yes, one of my favorite Christmas horror movies, and I love watching it around Christmas. And yeah, you know, we're getting close to Halloween, and we know that Christmas likes to invade Halloween, and as soon as Halloween's over, or as soon as Halloween starts, we instantly start getting the Christmas decorations out there. And I'm one of those people who's like, can we at least get through Halloween first before I have to see a goddamn Christmas tree? But anyway, but yeah, you know, I do love Krampus. I think it's a great horror movie to watch around Christmas. Don't know if it would work as a horror movie around Halloween, but this is a list of my favorite 2010s horror movies, and I'm gonna be honest. It does break my heart that that Krampus did not break the top 10, but I have to be honest. It was just knocked out of the top 10. But it is a great movie. A great horror movie that I would recommend watching around Christmas. If you want to watch it around Halloween, that's fine. But, you know, let's celebrate Halloween before we celebrate Christmas, okay? Let us Halloween fans at least have Halloween before we get into Christmas, okay? But still, Krampus, one of my favorite Christmas horror movies. I know not everyone loves it, but it does have a loyal cult following, and I am a fan of this movie. I am part of that loyal following. So yeah, Krampus, I love that movie, and I don't care what anyone says.
Oh, shit.